of it. Yes, I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again,
the first document, what I saw is I'm more of a seeing person, like I see images, and what I've seen is a man with a dark face.
So, you received your first attunement, and you see a man with a dog face. That is a god that you're seeing, and you're seeing the god Anubis or Anpu. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Next.
It seemed that I had entered into like a time warp because I was leaving work and there's a series of things that I needed to get done, and I had left work late. And so it typically takes me an hour to get home, but that day I got home in like 35 minutes. And then I was able to accomplish so many things within an hour. And by the time that I was leaving, I was, working with my altar, and I was, giving out my blessings and leaving. And I was sending energy, and when I did like a little shake, things on my altar started shaking and like falling back. And I just had like a confirmation that there was energy surging through me and going into my altar. And that's when I was like, I'm meant to be here. That's what I saw.
Powerful.
Yeah.
I see like this like black robe, and because it's the picture that I saw on your page. A black robe. I don't know if it's holding a staff or a sword, but it was his wings are really big, and he like looked and stared at me, and he flew over me. As I turned around, he landed on a clock. It was a clock, time. So angel of death and time. And I was like looking at him, and I felt like I could see like my eyeballs on his feet, and it like went up, and he stopped in his middle of the chest. And I tried to see his face, but I couldn't see his face. But I got stuck here, and instantaneously I was teleported.
Let me streamline it. One of the things that I would say is because you are a student and you've been working with it, you are also a pre-ascendant. So you're going to have a very intimate connection with a lot of the gods that lord over the astral planes and the gates of death. Archangel Azrael's job is to stop the clock of samsara within certain people that are going to ascend in life. So you having an interface with him is proving to you that it's something that he's one of the beings that work with Galighticus. He also works with helping people to ascend when they, especially the 144,000.
I seen this one instrument. It was gold, and it had like diamonds like around the top, and it had red and green diamonds at the bottom. And when you poke the air with it, like I thought about Chronos, I thought about time. You poke the air with it, and then time would speed up really fast. Everything would speed up really fast. And then I saw a black-headed being with a golden, I don't know what that was.
Trident.
Okay, and it had light in the middle of it, and then it had light at the bottom of it, and it was holding a baby with a white blanket. And then when I saw it, it stood up.
You might want to look into, do you know who Lord Shiva is? No. He's the one that belongs to the actual trident, and he's a very powerful being. And I'm getting you need to research Lord Shiva a little bit.
The first day, I was in a dark room. I was levitating in a chair. When the chair got grounded, I saw SRI Master Gano, and his face was illuminated. And then the chair violently started moving. And then it was almost like there was a battle, for me. And SRI Master's face was very serious, like he wasn't playing. And it was a battle between forces. And the chair finally violently moved on the SRI Master, and I saw Ganesh beside him.
I saw myself riding on this beautiful boat made out of gold and onyx. Behind me, it was like this big, tall, darkest midnight entity That's all I can say, because it was chiseled, hard face, had black, free flowing, shiny locks, but green, glowing eyes, like emerald green eyes. And it was holding this long gold pole.
How tall would you say he was?
At least 30 feet, at least.
Okay.
And he had like this gold pole, and he was holding it up, and it had scales, a set of gold scales hanging from it. And on one side of the scale, it had a black feather, but the scales remained balanced. At the front of the boat was Thoth. He was driving the boat.
Lord Thoth, Tahuti?
He had a
Okay.
book in
Okay.
book in a hand and a feather in the other hand. And he would look back at me, right. Look back at me, right. And I got nervous because I didn't know like what was going on. But as soon as I saw the scales, I automatically understood what was going on. And then he stepped off the boat, and it looked like he went through a portal, like on Stargate, you know how they step through and just disappear? And as soon as he disappeared, the entity that was behind me and this beautiful woman, I feel like she's my divine mother. I said it was Oshun. She never told me her name, but that's who I said it was because she had yellow on. And she was beautiful. She had this one shoulder, free-flowing chiffon gown on. She was beautiful. But anyway, she led me into this room, and it was like 13 beings. I counted 13 beings sitting at this like U-shaped table. And one in particular, the best way I can describe this being is it had a human body, but the head looked like the bottom of an octopus. And it had 7 tentacles that had eye on the outside and these suctions on the inside. And it reached out and grabbed my head. And when it did that, I automatically saw my body sitting in a lotus position. I looked like a digital form. And it looked like this DNA, because I kept seeing the letters A, T, C, and G, just doing this, all the way up my spine and up throughout my head.